What was the first thing you thought of when you woke up this morning?
Oh my God.
Why did I go to bed at like 3 in the morning when I had to get up at 6 in the morning?
Time to feed the animals.
How many animals?
I have 2 cats and a dog.
Did they wake you up?
Yep. My dog whines in her crate, and my cat Percy gets behind my head and meows until I wake up. And he'll paw my head. Yep. Pretty sure they only care about me because I feed them.
That's kind of what animals do.
So what's been most on your mind the last couple of weeks?
You go first.
Gosh, how deep do you want us to get?
As deep as you could.
Well, I guess a lot's been on my mind. I started a business about 2 years ago, and I'm in the process of probably getting a full-time job and putting that on the back burner. And I moved home a year ago tomorrow. So just thinking a lot about change and how awesome the past year has been, and just the opportunities I've been afforded. And yeah.
And is your business still going? Will your business
Yeah.
still going?
Yeah, so I help small creative businesses with social media and content creation, and but I just think it's time for me to. It's like 100% hustle, and I'm done with the hustle.
Well, I haven't really been thinking about anything really. I've just been waking up every day and going to work and then coming home and doing whatever. I just got promoted, so I'm a manager of a little city feed and supply over here. And that's been, I don't know, I've been thinking about why, if I'm actually the type of person that could be in that position because of, personality-wise, I'm just like a child, giant child. And, I've mainly just been worrying for the past, couple weeks, but it's fine. I think I turned out all right.
What's your first really great childhood memory?
Gosh, I don't know. Maybe going to summer camp. I grew up in JP, so super latchkey kid. I didn't get to go camping or hiking until I was in my 20s. I was 19 actually. So every summer when we were I think I started going to camp around 8 or 9, and it was just really awesome to be able to get out, with other kids and hang out.
The thing that I always I always remember is remember those little 3-wheeled, the big wheel things where it's the front big wheel with the pedals on it and 2 little back wheels. Me and my friend Dave, he lived across the street from me, and he had a really cool one, and mine the seat was broken off and it was a piece of crap. And I remember one day I stole his big wheel and then rode it across the street and rode it into my yard, and there was a little gully that went down, a little hill that went down to a gully behind my house, and I rode it down that and crashed it, and it broke, and there was a pile of leaves at the bottom, and I just left it buried under a pile of leaves and told him I didn't know what happened to it. And I think to this day I still haven't told him that I stole his big wheel. And
Don't you think he probably knew on some level?
I'm sure yeah, but he never really called me on it. He was just where'd it go? I'm like, I don't know, I still got my crappy one, so whatever. And yeah, that's the one thing I always kind of think about. I don't remember a lot about my childhood for some reason. I don't think not I'm blocking anything out. I just have a really bad memory.
If you could go back and meet your 10-year-old self with the wisdom you have now, what do you think you would say?
I would say do not give a shit. I think that young girls, at least for me, I was so caught up in fear, and I was a total tomboy, and that wasn't a cool thing. And there's a lot of stuff I deal with now as a woman in her 40s, that I think starts as young girls, and I really try to work with a lot of young women and show them to just really believe in yourself, because I don't don't know. I just think that society can really bear down on women, and their self-esteem. Like you can do whatever you want. I know that sounds really cliche, but I just think growing up as an inner city kid, at least in Boston, like you can't ever let anybody know that like you're weak, And I think that can be really detrimental, when you get older, because you're afraid to ask about things or you're afraid to experience things because you don't want to show somebody you don't know how to do it. And that's one thing that's been really amazing for me with the internet is like I've been able to teach myself things that I've always wanted to do. So I would just say, don't give a shit and do what you want.
I would probably tell myself to, I would say to give a shit, because I just spent like my childhood just fucking off in school. I didn't care about anything. I would just say like I should have just like I would be like just pay attention to what your dad tells you, because like there was like all this stuff that my dad would try to teach me, like fixing cars and like stuff like that. He's like, this will come in handy one day, and I was like, yeah, screw you, like whatever. And now I wish I had listened to him, and then like I wish I paid more attention in school. So I would be like, hey dummy, be smarter. That's probably about it.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.